10 Players News was asked if we'd make a video about street smarts versus book smarts. We get requests quite often. But as a crew who used to make a living as gamblers, we like this one. To make a decent living at gambling, you've gotta bet at least 700. And it's not some shit you learn from books. This is a craft you've gotta learn from the inside. And keep your lips zipped. So we're gonna get right to it and not even waste time with this one. Book smart people are a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. It has nothing to do with having a diploma or degree. There are street smart and book smart people who do, and don't. And keep in mind that when we say street smart, we're not talking about some guy on the corner who can point you to the direction of the hottest club. We're talking about smart people when we say this. Street smart people are people who know how to win without being played by the system. Book smart people are people played by the system instead. But there are very few street smart people out there. Which means the average person is played by the system. Book smart people are people who only have book knowledge. Most of which is bullshit. Street smart people are boundless. They might read a lot. Or not at all. But they've tapped their ability to creatively use their own common sense, wit, logic, and gut. And if anyone gets offended by this video, it would mean you don't use common sense. Because we didn't say street smart people don't read. We simply said book smart people are dumb people who believe everything they read. And you'd be admitting to being one of these dumb people if this bothers you. Street smart people know how to survive, and can adapt, or learn how to adapt to anything. On the streets, or shipwrecked on a deserted island. Book smart people are lost on the streets, and will be bones in less than a week on that island. Because the book smart person knows about things they read. While a street smart person knows about how to do things instead. The book smart person will claim a Brooklyn rat can only jump 2 feet high. Because they read it in a book. The street smart person will claim a Brooklyn rat can jump 5 feet high. Because they've seen that shit with their own eyes. And probably had to beat that motherfucker off their shelf. A book smart person isn't smart because they read books. Because the smartest street smart motherfuckers will read books too. The difference is that the book smart person believes what they read. The street smart person knows truth when they read it. And tosses the rest of the unusable bullshit out the window. They just don't read 10 books a week for the hell of it. It has to have some info they seriously need. Book smart people are people who can do well on Jeopardy! Or in an office obeying the boss. Someone programmed by the system. A system another man invented to control people. If a street smart person's at work and they say the building's on fire, but stay in your seats and don't worry about it, the street smart person is getting the fuck out of there. And giving the boss the finger. The book smart person will stay at their desk. And claim they said the fire was under control. Then be taken out as a piece of charcoal in a body bag at the end of their shift. These aren't people who listen to their gut. If they were, they wouldn't believe everything they read. The street smart person learns nature's system. They might kick ass on Jeopardy too. But street smart motherfuckers are a paradox when it comes to patience. They don't have a lot of it. At the same time they do. The 10 Players crew is the same way. We don't want to read a 1,000-page book on how to tie a fucking shoelace. When you can tell us in one paragraph. All we want to hear is you make a loop, and put a loop, in the loop. Then pull tight. But the book smart motherfucker will read that entire book. Where the first shoelace was made. What made them think of making it? Who the first person was to tie a shoelace? Who choked on the first shoelace? Who tripped on the first shoelace? Who masturbated first with a shoelace? And a ton of other bullshit that will never do anything for them in life. Then they'll walk around thinking they know everything about shoelaces. 20 years later they'll flip on the news and find out everything in that shoelace book was a fucking made up lie. That motherfuckers were using shoelaces in civilizations they never even heard of. Even places under the damn ocean they never knew existed. But if you want to know the ultimate truth, it's this. Human beings have super mental gifts. And it's impossible for any school to teach it. If you want to go to school to learn a craft, that's great. If you simply want money in life, it has nothing to do with school. But it does take knowledge. And these days you can get on the internet and learn damn near anything. Which is actually what's happening in the world. You see, people are asleep. A school is nothing but a group of humans like anyone else who put together a system. And the system is designed to be your master and keep you asleep. It tells you Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity. What a load of crock. He didn't discover shit. Then they'll say okay. It was discovered a few years before that. More bullshit. Electricity has been known for thousands of years, as well as the knowledge of their conductors. But some motherfucker with the power puts it in a book. One of the first lessons ancient warriors learned was that lightning was attracted to their weapons. Daring Vikings would even stand at the top of mountains and hold up their swords during lightning storms. If they survived the strike, they got props for bravery. So how the fuck is Benjamin Franklin getting the credit for this ancient knowledge? Now scientists claim they've discovered there's an energy that's everywhere in the universe. Give me a fucking break. Cultures have been saying this shit for thousands of years. They call it God. The Chinese call it Qi. The yogis call it prana. George Lucas called it the Force. But these motherfuckers claim it doesn't count until they come along stealing it and give it another name. Then the book smart motherfuckers believe it? Or say dumb shit like, wow. Scientists discovered something called dark matter. What do they think cultures claiming there was darkness in the beginning have been talking the fuck about for thousands of years? So if you want to learn how to be a real player, get street smart. And ignore these motherfuckers. Because what you're not being told is that street smarts is actually the ability to use your natural brain power, divine instincts, and mind. A mind the system doesn't want you to find out about. And keep in mind that the brain and mind are two different things. But that's a story for our mysterious news. But here's what this is all really about. The average person only accesses 10% of their brain power. And reading books has nothing to do with this power. Because once you tap into the extra percentage, you'll end up writing more than you'll ever read. And you'll find out that the average book is actually designed to cut off higher brain activity, rather than activate it. Because if you access that, you'd know how the pyramids were built. From Egypt to Mexico. And how Stonehenge got there. These motherfuckers don't. So why would you be reading their shit? If you accessed a quarter of your brain functions, you'd dominate the minds of the smartest physicists alive. And make any amount of money you want. And they won't like that. So the system plays people by keeping them from ever accessing it. And book smart people get played the most. So if you want true player info, read about what you haven't been shown. Not the shit you have. 10 Players has no plans on writing any books. But if we ever do, you better pick up a copy. Because we're gonna tell it like it is. And tell it the 10 Players way.